Hi, I'm Chris.
Hi, I'm Tracy.
Hi, I'm Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Lori.
And I'm Fritz.
And welcome to Campus Cuts.
It's a short drive to Doug's Auto Sales in Glendora. For over a decade, Doug's Auto Sales earned its reputation by specializing in quality pre-owned vehicles at a reasonable price. Bad credit, no credit, not a problem. Doug's Auto Sales offers creative financing and in most cases will get you in the car or truck you deserve at a price you can afford. So put on down to Doug's Auto Sales on East Alasta Avenue, 1 mile east of Grand in Glendora.
Thank you, Greg Solomon and the Glendora Tartan Marching Band. Good morning, I'm Guy Williams, and I've had the pleasure to chair the opening and closing of the Vault Committee. This morning we would like to welcome you to the 9th in a series of events to commemorate our 100th anniversary. It is also my pleasure this morning to acknowledge the presence of your elected representatives, the Mayor of the City of Glendora, the 23rd Mayor of the City of Glendora, Ken Prestisator, the Mayor Pro Tem, Leonard Martins, former Mayor and Councilman John Gordon, the councilman that dressed for the occasion, Councilman Robert Kuhn, with the motto, dress blues and tennis shoes.
That's right.
And our Councilwoman, Lois Shade. Welcome, Lois. We also have the distinct honor this morning to have on the podium our former council member, Francis Detweiler. Welcome, Dutch. And of course, the very beautiful young lady that makes us all shine here on the podium, the Miss Glendora, Francine Amity. At any rate, it is indeed my pleasure to introduce the Mayor of the City of Glendora, Kenneth Prestisator. Ken.
As you may know, our city was founded on November the 13th, 1911, 75 years ago. In celebration of the 50th anniversary of the event, the City Council, which was in office in 1961, erected this obelisk. At the same time, they buried a time vault containing historical memorabilia of their time. It was their wish that the vault would be opened 25 years after it was first buried, and that we would display the contents, supplement them with items of our own, and rebury them to be opened again in another 25 years. 2 days ago, we dug up the vault and made sure we could open it, but no one has viewed its contents. In a few moments, we will all have an opportunity to see at first hand what was buried 25 years ago. At this time, we will have the opening of the vault. Lift.
1, 2, 3,
3. The vault here, if I can have your attention just for a minute.
It is indeed an auspicious occasion today, ladies and gentlemen, to be here. I'm kind of excited as you are all. You know, this is a closing of the vault until a celebration of our centennial of our incorporation in the year 2011. So you are all witnessing something that I hope you're as excited about as am I. Claire is here representing our very, very distinguished Mayor Emeritus Joe Bigbiter, who we know is with us in spirit this morning. Claire, is there something you would like to say this morning?
Thank you very much. Joe is too sick to be here today. He just cannot get out anymore. But he is with me here today. And we appreciate and we thank everyone for caring so much. It means a lot to us. Everybody be well and happy, and thank you so much.
A lot of the items that have been brought forward are very precious, I know, to a lot of the people that have donated them. We have annuals and books there that they have worked very hard on, and the presentation of those must have been hard for them to give them up. As you know, the vault that was placed in 1961, which was placed just before me here, came up and was rather inundated with water. So we didn't salvage a whole lot out of 1961. We have some of the items that will be placed back in, but we've learned a lot from this first closure, and we hope that the closure that we're going to make now will be considerably more protected. I wrote to Window and Time, a computer firm that gives us rundowns on what went on in certain periods of time. And in January 1st, 1961, if we remember, President Eisenhower was our president. We had Vice President Nixon. Gasoline was 29 cents a gallon. A new Ford automobile cost $2,265. The average annual income, well, it hasn't changed much, was $4,884. The most popular song was Big Bad John. The movie was West Side Story. So I think there are a lot of interesting items. We have the window in time through January, February, and for the 12 months. Some of the other events was President Kennedy established the Peace Corps. The Russian cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin orbited the Earth. The minimum wage was set at that time. Fidel Castro announced he is forming a single political party, and it was going to be communistic. So those are some of the items that will be placed back in the vault to depict 1961. I think that all of those will be interesting in the year 20 and 11. From that takes us back on to 61. Now what has been placed is we have a centennial plate there that is going to be presented to the 5 councilmen, the mayor and 4 councilmen, I should say, which will be as a gift from us to them in the year 20 and 11. You might want to look at that centennial plate. It's very beautiful. It'll be on sale by the Historical Society for $20 a copy, I believe, and I would like to see everyone have a copy. We also have had donations from Andrews. We have had donations from the band team. We have had donations from the DAR in silver coins that are going to do nothing but appreciate. And they'll probably want them back in 20 and 11 because they depict our Statue of Liberty. We have annuals from most of the schools. Many of the children have gone and drawn pictures or written poems depicting their life in Glendora. I donated a bottle of wine. I thought that in 20 and 11 that they all might toast the Council of 1986. They tell me that if we keep it tipped and keep the cork wet, it'll last for 25 years without any problem. We have tapes that are being presented. We have the Most all the clubs have been represented. I know the Rotarians, the Lions, and the Kiwanians have all been represented. We have the several Miss Glendora magazines. I miss Glendora. Excuse me. You didn't write any magazines. Several of the Glendoran magazines. We'd like to have the presentation of the Cornerstone. We have 2 Masonic Lodge members with us today. We have Jack Lewis and John Trescott. Jack, would you come forward? All right. Jack and John are now getting the stone, which will be the cornerstone of our vaulted area. That'll be fine, yeah. Thank you, Jack.
This time I'd like to introduce, starting on our national level, we have present with us Mrs. Ralph Fisher. Would you please come forward? Mrs. Fisher is a national chairman, service to veteran patients. She's also state chairman of conservation, state chairman California Tea. She's also responsible for the acquisition of this beautiful marker that we dedicate today. We, the Toronto chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution, share in this dedication ceremony of this marker in honor of Glendora's centennial celebration and our many founding families. Barbara?
Pleasure to be here today. Some of us were here 25 years ago for the presentation of the Centurion Vault and Obelisk, and some of us will not be here for the next opening. But remember, nothing is really ended until it is forgotten. Whatever is kept in memory still endures. In the name of Serrano Chapter, National Society, Daughters of the American Revolution, we dedicate this bronze marker in grateful recognition of the significance of this place. May it help to keep alive an appreciation of our heritage from the past. In the name of Serrano Chapter, I present to the City of Glendora during this centennial celebration this bronze marker in commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the founding of the City of Glendora, the 75th anniversary of the incorporation of the City of Glendora, and the 25th anniversary of the presentation of this Centurion Vault and Obelisk.
Thank you. I think the daughters deserve another hand for their contribution. The women from the DAR, the city officials that helped put this thing together, and everybody that had anything to do with this function today, John Trescott, Jack Lewis, Leonard Martins, and the rest. At this time, we will have the benediction and closing.
Almighty God, as we seal once again these symbols of our life together in 1986 for another 25 years, we give you thanks for all the blessings that you have bestowed on this community in the first 100 years of our life, and we pray that you would grant us your continued blessing. Help us to grow closer in a community of friends and neighbors. Help us to live in peace and harmony, to strive to seek a better life for all of our citizens, and especially to remember the homeless and the hungry always in our midst. Forgive us for our selfish actions and for our blindness to the needs of others, and give us generous hearts, courage, foresight to act for the common good of all who live here. We ask all this humbly but confident of your love as we commit ourselves and our fortunes to your power and your wisdom. Amen.
And the chamber has coffee and donuts for everyone. So as you're reviewing the articles, please go over and have some coffee and donuts.
Thank you. Good to see you. Nice to see you. Don't just fear.
also by Mike.
It came on overnight. I must have held you too tight. But last night I caught a touch of your love. The feel from your kisses tears me apart. It starts from your lips and goes straight to my heart. No use pretending, 'cause baby, I'm sure there's no cure, and I just got to have fun. It came on overnight. I must have held you too tight, 'cause last night I caught a touch of your love. I caught a touch of your love. I caught a touch of your
Leslie Scott and Gabe McNair. The last tune we're going to feature Leslie on is Somebody Loves Me, another love tune. I don't know what the heck this is, but anyway, Leslie Scott.
it could be. Somebody loves me, I wish I knew. Who can it be worries me? For every boy who passes me, I shout, hey, maybe you were meant to be my loving baby. Somebody loves me, I wonder who. Somebody loves me, I wonder who, it could be. Somebody loves me, I wish I knew. Who can it be worries me? For every boy who passes me, I shout, hey, maybe you were meant to be
Let's give a big welcome to our Jazzercise team, led today by Nikki Brown. Nikki? Oh, there you are. I knew you were there.
Thanks. Good afternoon. We're really excited to be here. If you haven't heard of Jazzercise before, what Jazzercise is a dance fitness program. And these people are so amazing, you're going to think it's a dance, whatever, a recital kind of thing. These are people that actually take the class with us. So we want to give you a really great example of what Jazzercise is. We're going to do bits and pieces of music that we actually do in class, set up in a format similar to class, in that we'll have an instructor leading, and there's nothing to remember. One of the things you'll notice is that everyone is different. Obviously, we'll be working at different levels of impact, bouncing, as well as intensity, how hard we're working. And we're really here just to have a lot of fun.
Turn the body upside
Our first speaker, Don Pfluger, needs no introduction to those of you who have lived in Glendora very long. He wrote A History of Glendora, which is now much sought after. My signed copy is one of the prized pieces of my modest collection of Californiana. At the last book fair in Glendale, I saw an unsigned copy of Don Pfluger's book that they wanted $85 for. It's a much sought after piece. He has written a foreword to This I Remember, in which he acknowledges his debt to Helen Bettein's work, and he has added to that book more than a dozen new footnotes which contain valuable additional information. As a highly regarded local historian, Mr. Pfluger is in an excellent position to say something about the value of this book before us today. And it is an honor for me to present to you Don Pfluger.
With regard to that $85 price tag, I want you all to know I have difficulty selling them for $5. There are many people in the
Yeah, welcome to the Glendoran Video Magazine. My name's Stan West, and I want to thank Joe and Ida for asking me to appear and be a part of their initial video magazine of the Glendoran. And I'm here to just tell you a little bit of the story of my history and my life here in Glendora, the town which I really love. I love Glendora. I've been away for a few times during my life, but for very short periods, but I always couldn't wait to get back to Glendora, because I always missed it. My family goes way back in Glendora's history. My great-grandfather being one of the first settlers in Glendora, and among the first mayors, James Jefferson West. And my family being in the citrus groves, my mother's side, the Weaver family, had citrus groves up by the Glenora Mountain Road off of Sierra Madre, and right before you go up into the canyon. And my grandma West and Lester West had orange groves right up here by the corner of Bennett and Cullen, which is tracks now, but all the groves are gone and they're tracks. But I grew up around the citrus industry, which Glendora was one of the major industries in Glendora at the time. It was a very enjoyable childhood being involved in that and seeing it actually happen. My mom and dad played guitar in Citrus High School. Citrus High School with Harper Whistler was a little guitar trio. My mom played the Hawaiian style guitar, and my dad played the standard like this one, and Harper played standard. I never heard or saw them play, but the guitars were always around the house, and they told me about their little group they had played Hawaiian music and popular music of the time. So around 1958, I had messed with their guitars here and there, but I got serious about 1958, and I started off using their guitars. And finally, when I wanted to get into my first bands, they helped me purchase a electric guitar, Fender electric guitar actually. It was my second guitar. My first one was an Ibanez guitar bought up here in Glendora at the music store. That used to be up there on Glendora Avenue, which burnt down in the old hotel there. And my first bands, I played local schools, Cellar School first, and then Glendora High School with Glendora guys, Jack Oldham and Bobby Figueroa. Bobby Figueroa, who went on to be with the Beach Boys for 15 years. That's how good a drummer he was, and he still is. I play with him still periodically. And many of you old Glendorans will remember his father, Mr. Figueroa, going off to work on pedaling his bicycle through town with more energy than I ever had, and I was a youngster. Anyway, graduated Glendora High School in 1964, and as soon as I graduated, I moved into Hollywood and played on the Sunset Strip at various clubs, Pandora's Box, It's Boss, The Sea Witch, and moved in there and spent a couple years living in Hollywood, then moved back to Glendora after I got married, and to my first wife, her name was Mary McCain from Duarte, and I had two wonderful children with Mary, Lori, and Christine West. And to provide income better than I was making musically at that time for my children, I went out and got a job at a local company called Conrack. Spent 8 years at Conrack, still playing on weekends. And then I would do various woodworking things and stuff during the day in spare time. But in the mid-'70s or early '70s, I quit Conrack after I was there for 8 years.
dog, baby, please don't go. I got them shackles on. I got them shackles on. I got them shackles on to the count of bone. Please don't go. Say, baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, you know I love you so. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, don't go. You know I love you so. You know I love you so. You know I love you so. So baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go.
Yes, I had a store in Orange Tree Bazaar, Dan Shear's store up there, the old Seamer's furniture store. I was in there quite a few years, until 1983 when I opened Stan's Guitar Shop where we're at right now. But during the time I was at Orange Tree, I played music, full-time country music on the pedal steel guitar at night, and I restored antique furniture and made clocks and antique reproductions, woodworking during the day. And about 1977, out of the plane, out of the blue, no warning, I suffered a stroke, which left me paralyzed on my left side and totally took my music away. I couldn't figure this. That's an E chord on the guitar. It's one of the first, most basic guitars chords you learn. I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even make my fingers form anything. So I got very depressed about it. I was unable to do anything. I also played saxophone, but that totally took my saxophone playing away. But as I regained a little bit of movement and stuff through therapy, I started playing my guitar. At first I thought I'd never touch it again because I was so discouraged. I started playing my guitar. A friend of mine who played pedal steel guitar, which was the instrument I was playing when this happened in bands, he had polio as a youngster and his guitar was reversed. So he said, you know, you can do this with a reversed guitar, and he happened to have two of them and he sold me one. So after I got that and messed with it, I figured, hey, I can do this a little bit. I still sounded terrible, but my band, who I had been with at one club called Cal's Corral for almost 3 years, 2.5 years, they also had a wonderful benefit for me to raise money while I was down. They let me come back and play with them, and I sounded terrible, but it was the boost I needed, and they put up with me, and I improved from that moment on my guitar playing, because that little help they gave me and let me do that gave me the incentive to really want to learn to play again. And if it hadn't been for that, I'm sure I would have just hung it up, because it was all gone, you know. And after the stroke, I went into what's called slide guitar playing, which I had already done since the early 60s anyway, so I already knew how to do it. But it doesn't involve having to use your fingers. This is standard guitar playing. You use your fingers when you play it, which I can do now. I've gained back that. I don't play anything like I used to, but I can do it. Now, a combination of this and a Hawaiian style guitar, which I'll show you. All right, this is a Hawaiian guitar. This is a 1927 National resonator guitar. Very beautiful instrument, but this is what they played lap style. This is the way my mom played guitar. adapted to blues in many ways too, like. So, let me show you one other thing. This evolved into me playing the slide guitar. All right. From the Hawaiian guitar, the combination of the Hawaiian guitar and the standard guitar, you have what's called bottleneck or slide guitar, which you play with a slide on your finger. And that's where I'm at now. That's the main instrument I play. This is acoustic guitar, and it can be electric. And just recently I have, after my stroke and recovering, I should say first, get back into order, I went through a real down and depressed period, still playing music though, and getting better all the time and improving. And my left side improved too. It was like my left side straight down your body, for those of you who've never had a stroke before, is gone and disappeared, like it's not even there no more. And you kind of gain it back, a little movement and feeling. I'm still numb on my left side, but not anything like I was. So it's without getting too involved. So I improved and improved in my music. Opened Stan's Guitar Shop in 1983, and decided to go full time into, when I did play music, into my first love, which was the blues music of Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Robert Johnson, and people like that. And I've had a blues band ever since then.
right, thank you very much.
And through the 90s, you know, I kept it up playing and writing songs and stuff. And finally, in about 1992, I had a session and cut my current CD. But I was very down and discouraged with the music business, and and I just let the CD sit for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And my wife, Kathy, my current wife, Kathy, I've been married a few times. That's why I say my current wife. And she kept on me to put the music out, you know. It's just sitting there, and it was very good, and she believed in me that it was good, and I knew it was good, but I was just really discouraged. And so finally we did it, and on my own production, my own record company, Resonator Records, and put it out, and I've got, to my surprise, nothing but good reviews throughout the world in major blues publications. Write-ups in like Pasadena Weekly and various papers also, and there's just been a lot of acceptance of the music, and they like the music. And because it is good, because the musicians I have with me are excellent musicians. So makes me real proud that it is out and happening. And another thing I'm proud about is I'm 5 years sober now, and that had a lot to do. I was sober when I did cut my music. I wasn't when I wrote a lot of the songs. But that has really helped me really improve my playing, and having a clear mind has really helped. And that's about, I know I've skipped a lot, but that's kind of my background in Glendora here, and my musical background. I am a member of the Glendora Historical Society. I'm on the board of directors, which I'm very proud of that too. I try to attend all the meetings, except for when I'm out playing my music. And I really love the town of Glendora. It's changed quite a bit, quite a bit, but it's still, I believe, the best city around Southern California. And we have a fine police department, and we keep the city clean. And I believe most all the citizens believe in the city and want to keep it that way. And it makes you feel good to be a Glendoran.
I want to know how much longer